Hey, welcome to the first episode of the Acoustic Per. My name is Barrett Dastrup. In this show, we're going to have musicians and audio engineers come and tell us about the individual sounds in one of their songs. So if you've heard Song Exploder, it's going to be really similar to that, only in this show, you're going to hear more about the plugins and the patches and the effects that were used on a song. Today, we get to hear from Christian Darais, who plays drums for the band The Brocks. They're based out of Provo, Utah. Also, Kaskade is producing their first album. Christian is going to walk us through their song, Hollywood. I'm Barrett Dastrup, and this is the Acoustic Per.
My name's Christian Darais. I play drums for the electronic indie band The Brocks. I remember Dane bringing that demo to the band. It was just basically him playing those chords on the Prophet and singing, and he said, I need, a drum beat for this song. We should go through it and figure it out. And I don't know why, but I really wanted to do something. I just got this sample library of old Casio drum kits. And so I was like, cool, I'll just try these Casio kits. So all the drum sounds that I used on that were from old digital synthesizers. We actually rolled with that. We played that live for a long time that way. And then just like it is in the final version now, through the bridge, I'd come in on live drums and it would get all big. But for, a long time, it was those really lo-fi Casio drum sounds. So that lead sound is a patch on the Prophet 12 mixed with a vocal sample that's being pitched around to. That actually came pretty late in the game. I think we had finished most of the production on the song, and before it used to just be big fat pads, and there wasn't anything in that spot. We were all just literally sitting in Nate's basement for 2 months playing around, and I don't remember who came up with what because everybody was just playing. He has so many keyboards. We're just all playing on stuff. That's from the Prophet, and then Dane's vocals mixed in with it. I've seen Finn use Serato pitch and time, which is so expensive, but sounds so good. I know that Melodyne can do it, and Little Altar Boy from Sound Toys is really cool. That's what I use because I got it for free. They do during South by Southwest, they always put out one free plugin that you can go and download. And then when they come out with the full version, if you have the free one, then they give you an upgrade for $30 or something. It's really cheap. So whenever I do stuff, I use Little Altar Boy. And for stuff like this, it works really well where you want to screw it up and it doesn't necessarily need to sound really clean, but because it's kind of a noisy plugin. So I know for cleaner things, I've seen them use Melodyne, Serato pitch and time, stuff like that.
I want to live in a beautiful country.
We tracked all of the vocals in a little vocal booth that we made in Nate Pyfer's basement. So it was just imagine a door frame. It's that width. And we literally nailed blankets up around in just a square. So Dane was in this, there's no light in there. He's just in there with the microphone with blankets all around him. And we took a 500 series, I'm trying to think what you'd call it, the little rack mount mic pre's and EQs, and just did a shootout between all of them, picked the mic that they wanted and the pre's. And then he did double track everything, and when we were listening through it, I wasn't sure how it was going to work, to be a really clean main vocal thing, but they used, I think it's Isotope vocal line. So it makes it, instead of having to go in Elastic Audio, all of the transients and everything to make them line up so it doesn't sound like two voices, the plugin vocal line just goes in and puts them all together and makes it sound really clean. So yeah, the sub 37, so rad on that part with the ninth. And part of what makes the kick drum sound so huge is that it's just sidechained so hard, completely ducking out, and the release is pretty slow. And so to do that live, we were like trying to figure out if we wanted to run Ryan plays the sub 37, if we wanted to run it back through our mixer and have an onboard compressor do the ducking for him. But we found a way on the keyboard to use aftertouch to trigger the low pass filter. So he'll play the chord, and then when the kick hits, he pushes down harder on the keys, and it does a low pass filter and then comes back in. So he's actually playing the sidechain parts on the keyboard, which is really rad. I never thought aftertouch was useful until then. One of the things like working with these dudes has taught me is that there's no real ego. You shouldn't have an ego when it comes to your song. If there's like a lot of people that are getting together that want to make the song better, that's awesome. So this part was done by Ryan and Finn's studio assistant named Mitz. He's this Australian kid who runs the arcade studio in Santa Monica. And I don't know, I guess Finn was just kind of stuck on it, sent him the session, was like, just screw around on it, see if there's anything that you like. And he came up with that little sonar part, which I love. I play that on the SPDSX live. The boom. So yeah, we all love that part. I have no idea how he did it. I know, like, if you listen to his stuff on SoundCloud, his artist alias is Lipless, and he's awesome. Like, really, really cool, like, deep house stuff. He just released an EP on Arcade that's really cool. He did a remix of that RYX song that was really big and released it with Kaskade. See, that part is it's the Prophet 12 with the arpeggiator on, and knowing Nate, I'm sure it's the Valhalla reverb just on the initial patch when you load it up. It's the most awesome sounding reverb for stuff like that, just washing in the background. So yeah, Morgan, I'm pretty sure he was playing whatever with a ton of delay on, and that was recorded that way. He didn't record it dry because we were just doing a demo. I think so. Ryan was and is assistant engineer at June Audio, and so we would just go in after hours. Like, they'd finish up a session at 10 and we'd go in at 11, and Scott was cool with us using his stuff. So we recorded the demo guitar there, and that's what that is. So he just brought his pedal board, and I think he has a digital delay, like a Line 6. I think that's what it is. And he has a Jazzmaster, and he played it through a Fender Deluxe. Yeah, that side chain, that's what I think makes the song so cool. Like when that kick drum hits and everything just comes out. It's a must do in all electronic and dance music stuff. But yeah, I'm pretty sure that patch, like, if you buy a Prophet 12, you turn it on and the first patch is called "It's a Prophet!" ! And we have used that so much because it sounds so good. It's one of my favorite sounds, and it sounds just like a Prophet 5, which that synth is all over everything in the 80s, So yeah, I'm pretty sure it's just that initial patch tweaked a little bit, and then same thing, the Valhalla verb. The thing that makes those old synths sound so good and things that are emulated now is the oscillator drift. You can even do it with an LFO sent to the oscillator. So like on my Juno 106, if I turn up the LFO and bring the rate down, then it just slowly kind of modulates and it gives it that analog feel. Because if it's too clean, it just sounds kind of boring. Reactor, they have an online user library, and someone did some really awesome emulations of like the Mini Moog and the Prophet 5 and like the Oberheim OBX. So, and they sound good. So I've used, when I didn't have the Prophet available to me, if it was at someone else's house or whatever, that emulation on Reactor, I think is really great. So yeah, we recorded the drums in June's big room, and the part that I was playing, when I finished, they were like, it's kind of washed out. And that's how I play it live, just slamming the cymbals. And so they asked me to they wanted to grab samples of like the ride cymbal, the snare drum by itself, kick by itself, and then I think I played the whole thing just without any of the cymbals, and then did the cymbals separate. And then Finn went back and just cut it all up.
The Brocks can be found online at thebrocksmusic.com. You can also find them on SoundCloud and YouTube under the same name, The Brocks Music. Here is Hollywood by The Brocks.